Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening, everybody. I'm so happy, I'm so glad to be here and to share with you one of your happy days. And I'm glad to be the first woman as well, to be as a guest of the guest of your evening today. And in the past 2 years, as I heard, all male were there from Emirat. So I hope not anymore. As I would like to start with a very small comment and a belief which I developed, and I believe in it. It came directly from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. I was honored enough to have His Highness as a direct supervisor for me when we were planning Dubai Strategic Plan and Social Development. And during that time, whenever we come up with any project, His Highness will keep reminding us, what about the 80% of UAE population, of Dubai population? I don't want them to feel 1 minute sorry that they choose Dubai to be their second country. So without the support of all of you, all the nationalities, we as Emirati, we won't be able to develop our country. So I would like to thank all of you for all your contribution in developing our lovely country. Thank you very much. I was asked to talk very briefly about my experience with media. I can confidently say I had a very good experience with the impact of media in a core part of developing my country when it's come to preventing some of the common diseases in my country. I'm sure all of you heard about thalassemia, and unfortunately there is more than 220 genetic disease. It's very common in my country, and without prevention we won't be able to do that. I was lucky to have the right team with me in the right time. We started a campaign in 2004, UAE Free Thalassemia 2012, and it was based on a very successful story in Cyprus, where they were celebrating 17th years, where no single child was born with thalassemia, and their population is almost 800,000 only. So we thought that we will do something similar to them. And I have to also mention that they were a very good colleague of mine from Emirates. They started similar objective where they want to make sure that some of the disease will be eradicated. They started in 1998, but unfortunately they were not lucky to have the good team on board with them, and they were not successful to get the legislation for pre-marital investigation to be obligatory for whoever is planning to get married in our country. So with the right team, with the great people, especially those who believes in and love this country. They were from 17 nationalities. They were very well known in their field when it's come to disease, media, advertisement, communication, social media. They were on board with me. And we started this campaign where we thought that by 2010, we will get this legislation approved. But alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we were able to get this legislation approved in May 2006. So 4 years even before the deadline. So we were able to do that with the help of the right people. And when it comes to media, whenever I think about a project previously, not now, I will think to have an advertisement in a newspaper or in any communication media. But right now, after knowing those people who helped me to address this project in such a way which can be accepted by my own people, that was quite different. I'll give you a very small advice which I got it from one of a colleague who's coming all the way from Norwich, but he was very well oriented about the best tool in communicating with the people. He told me, Doctora, now you said this disease is more common in the Northern Emirate. And as I understand, and I went through some of your history, that the people in Northern Emirate, they have a different dialogue. It's called Ash-Shuhuh. They are a very common tribe in UAE. I believe before you go and tell them and advise them that they have to be screened for common genetic disorder, you need to do some homework. Go and try to memorize 10 of words which you can communicate in their dialogue. I thought, is it necessary? He said, I believe so. So I followed his advice and I went. I said, okay, I'm ready with 10 words. He said, now you need to wear your culture dress. Don't go with abaya, don't go with coat. And I'm sure if there is people who lives in UAE and Emirati, our mothers, they used to wear another leggings under their dress with the special embroidery. And where I have to go in Northern Emirate, it was on the top of the mountains, where I have to reach there with helicopter. And as soon the helicopter will be on the ground, there will be lots of wind, you know, where your clothes will come up and your legs will be exposed. And these people are very culture oriented and they won't accept you to come with a new modern way of dressing your culture dress. Imagine, being from Emirat, I never thought about these small details, but because of this guy who advised me to do it right, I got the whole tribe, we are screened, 170 of them on the same day. So my simple message to you, thinking about details and your advice, regardless of the culture, regardless of the country which you would like to do an event in, you have to study very well and to have very solid information about that culture. And believe me, you will have a great impact in that. I wish you all the best and congratulations for you finishing this first year. And I took the permission from Mr. Roshan. I took a permission from him that I have so far 2 non-profitable organizations. One of them is called UAE Genetic Disease Association, where we serve whole UAE community. As long as they have a residential visa, they are eligible to get our service, where we screen them for common genetic disorder free of charge. Number 2, I have another organization called UAE Down Syndrome, where again we support our children and their families with Down syndrome. Sorry, I have the third one. I have Dubai Care as well, by the way, sorry. Dubai Care, these 3 organizations, we have lots of events throughout the years. And most of the time we need people to come on board and help us in designing and planning the event or coming up with a new idea. I would like to extend a request for all the graduates and whoever is interested, you are most welcome to come on board and help us to reach the community in a better way, a unique way, and with a very pretty and lovely voice, which we heard just now. I'm looking forward to have a similar event where somebody will come from the back and will sing. Thank you very much again. Thank you.